Hi, I'm Chris.
I'm Tammy.
I'm Michelle.
And I'm Lance.
Welcome to our home. Disney World
Versus
Disneyland.
So thank y'all for joining us today. We're joined with our friends, Lance and Michelle, who are here to help us discuss which is better, Disney World or Disneyland. Now, we've been to both, but Lance and Michelle grew up in California, and so they are very familiar with California and Disneyland. And we're mainly familiar with Disney World. So we're going to try and bounce off of one another which one is better according to several categories. And so the first category is
Transportation.
And so the question is, which has better transportation systems, Disney World or Disneyland?
Okay. So for me, I would think that, again, it's more of a bias because I haven't been to Disney World as far as inside the park. I've only been to Disney Springs, so got a chance just to see the outside. But the transportation wide, to go from park to park, you really don't have it. You just walk literally right across downtown Disney and go to the next park. Yes, you do have transportation as far as the monorail that will take you from the Disneyland Hotel, and it will bring you, of course, to Disneyland. And you also have the transportation that goes from the parking structures, to downtown Disney. So as far as that transportation, that's pretty much all that I know about.
Right. And the parking, when we were there, that's the way it was also, as far as you just had the buses that would run you from the parking sections throughout the general area.
Correct.
Over to the theme park.
Now, at the time you went, did they have one or two parking structures when you were there?
I believe they had two.
Okay.
And we were right across the street from one of them.
Okay.
And so we stayed at a La Quinta while we were there.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it was very inexpensive. And so...
And you were able to literally walk across the street.
Yeah, we were actually close enough, though. We could walk from our hotel to Disney within 6 minutes, maybe 10 at the most.
It didn't take very long. But we were also very, very close. We were like, 2 blocks from the pickup from the bus system that would take you straight to the park as well. So we had our choice. If the bus wasn't running in time, we could also just walk to the park. So it was close enough that...
It was actually close enough. We were able to go back to the hotel and eat a lunch if we wanted with sandwiches and go back.
Yeah,
we
did
did
that.
Very, very quick.
And that's the nice thing about it too, is because if a lot of times you have to be on the schedule of the particular buses or the trams, and the location on where the hotels and the restaurants and stuff at Disneyland, everything is within walking distance. So if you get a chance, if you miss it, you can just walk back to your hotel.
Yeah.
Right.
And yeah, I just think that that's just the ease of transportation from the stuff that I've heard at Disney World, where I hear that you have to go from bus and it could take almost an hour to get from one park to another, depending on if you make the train, or I'm not the train, but the actual tram, the bus.
Yeah.
Whereas for Disneyland, or California Adventure, it just depends on how fast you can walk.
Yeah, I'll definitely say there are benefits at Disneyland regarding transportation and not having to have as much. But of course, it's a lot smaller, confined area, and that's why.
Yeah.
Well, I remember one of the things for me is that I liked that ease of transportation when I had small kids. You're lugging everything from diaper bags to strollers to you name it, and it was just easier. I didn't have to worry about sitting there folding up the stroller, going and waiting an hour just to get from here. I could just literally walk across.
Yeah.
Or if I wanted to go back to my hotel, I just walk to the hotel. I don't have to wait for a bus. So that's where I'm at as far as like with the transportation, on how close that it is for the parks too. Another thing to touch base on too, the transportation as far as coming from the airports. I know that there's 2 different airports that you can actually fly into. You can fly into LAX and you can fly into John Wayne Airport. Now, depending on traffic wise, I don't know how it is there in Florida, but sometimes LAX can be a 2-hour wait. Just to drive.
Just from traffic.
Correct. Or depending on also the time, John Wayne Airport, the same thing. But the good thing about it is there are, they also have shuttles and stuff that you can take depending on the hotel that you're at.
Right.
Yeah.
In Orlando, we've gone a number of times, and we've never had any sort of traffic issue. And we've gone all different times of the day and all different days of the week. So we've never actually had a traffic issue getting to and from the park. And we've gone at Christmas and that sort of thing.
From the airport?
From the airport.
Yeah. And
Okay.
it's typically about a 30-40 minute drive or something like that from the airport to the resort. So.
Plus the transportation from the airport at Orlando to the park or to your hotel is free.
Oh, wow.
And so there's no charge in that.
And
Now-
how close is it as far as to a freeway would be like Disney World in comparison? Now, I know y'all went to Disneyland, so you know, they're right off the 5. You've got that exit, and you pull right off the exit, and you literally see Disneyland's right there.
Disneyland is a lot more in the mix of all of Anaheim,
Correct.
kind of surrounding area, and Orlando. You're going to drive outside of Orlando, but there are major freeways that run straight into Disney.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that's not a big issue either.
Okay.
As far as transportation, I would also want to bring up on Disney's part for Disney World. You have multiple facets of transportation that I know y'all have one monorail
Correct.
just to the one hotel, right?
Correct. Yeah, it doesn't stop. It does not stop going to the Grand California.
Right.
It goes through it,
Right.
but it doesn't actually make it stop there.
Right.
We always thought it was, like when they were first building it and stuff like that, we always thought that there was going to be a stop that was going to be right there. But the cool thing about having the Grand Californian is literally it's at DCA. You walk out and it's like right there. So there is really no transportation. Why would the monorail want to stop when you're literally right there?
Right. The transportation at Disney World, however, you have several monorails that go to both Magic Kingdom and Epcot, and then that'll allow you to switch those parks kind of with somewhat ease. It does take a little bit of time. I think once you ride from Disney World over to the Ticket Transportation Center, it's about another 10-minute ride over to.
Yeah, you have to switch monorails.
Yeah.
And then get on to the other switch monorails and then get on the monorail to go back to.
Which
Epcot.
generally, on your way to Epcot, is about like walking across my house from one side to the other. It's not hard to cross those monorails.
And y'all have the Skyway now too, right?
They
Is that
have
new?
the Skyliner
The
series.
Skyliner, okay.
And so that's new, and that's pretty efficient and quick. When we've been there, that was pretty, and it's honestly a nice ride.
Yeah.
Now,
A lot
is that
nicer than I thought
something
it
that
would
is free? Because I'm not knowing.
It's free.
It's all
Okay.
free. Yeah.
Now it's not from every single hotel, but if you pick a hotel that's on that Skyliner, system, then it works.
And then there are also boats. The boat system works
Wow.
depending on what hotel you stay at and depending on what resort. If you're
So,
going to
yeah.
go from Hollywood Studios to Epcot, you could ride the boat. That's another mode of transportation that
Right.
you are able to use. And then,
And then there's the buses, like
of course, there's the buses. Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
awesome.
they're basically the same buses that you have at Disneyland.
Okay.
They're just a lot more of them at Disney World.
And it really just depends on the time of day. It kind of depends on when you get there. I mean, transportation, we've seen it take as little as probably, 25 minutes? 20,
Yeah.
25 minutes.
And
then
then
we've
we've
seen
seen
it
it
as
take an
long
hour.
as an hour. Yeah. So it kind of
We have.
depends on, how busy the parks are, the luck of what time you get there. So
Well, and they have the buses are on an app. And
Okay.
so you can bring up your app and you can
You
look
can
and
see.
say, hey,
Oh,
I know
wow.
if I get down there in the next 5 minutes, I can catch that bus to the Magic
right.
Kingdom.
Yeah.
As long as there's not a big
Wow.
line.
Yeah.
And so you can plan. I think the biggest difference on transportation, and I think it's going to be a lot of the things on our list, is at Disneyland, you can go and enjoy a lot of it with no preparation.
Correct.
But at Disney World, if you want to go and have like the most enjoyment out of your time, you're gonna need to plan.
And that was one of the things that, again, talking to people that have gone to, say, Disney World and Disneyland, is there's just more. It's almost like when you want to go to Disney World, you can't do the spur of the moment trip.
Right.
Whereas for Disneyland, it's like, well, let's go to Disneyland today. All right, cool. And it's really not too much planning. You could just go there and be like, well, you know what, Disneyland right here I'm looking, and man, they're busy. You know what, let me just walk over here to DCA. I'm gonna go to DCA real quick. All right, cool. 12:30, I'm looking. I look over at Disneyland. Oh, you know what? Let me go over to Disneyland real quick and see what rides I want to go over there. Yeah. And so I just think that sometimes that's where I have not wanting to, I don't know, almost shy away from it because I'm a spur of the moment kind of person. I want to just, get up and go and not really plan out some of the things.
Well, we actually did a spur of the moment trip at spring break.
And it was good.
And spring break is super busy.
Yeah.
And I'm talking they were busy. And we planned no fast passes. We planned no dining reservations. We just said, we're going to go. We literally planned it within like 2 days and decided we were going to drive. Okay. And so we drove. We went, and while we were there, Chris just scanned the app. He found us dining reservations.
Yeah, found dining, found rides.
We got it.
All sorts of
we
stuff,
got that. We were on the dining plan, so he found us those dining reservations and rides.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And it worked out great. I'm not going to say that happens every time, but it can happen.
But it did happen.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, I mean, we obviously
we didn't ride the top tier rides. So like when we were at the Magic Kingdom,
we did get Seven Dwarf Mine Train fast passes, but it was because
that's right.
We got special fast passes from cast members.
Oh, so, that's awesome.
Yeah. So. Well, it's because they had messed up my room. And so they said, well, here's some free fast passes.
We actually got to ride Seven Dwarf Mine Train like 4 times.
Yeah,
it was
one day.
amazing.
It was pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was fun. So I'm just saying it can be done spur of the moment. So you really, I mean, if you went to World, you could do it spur of the moment.
Okay.
I mean, you may not get the best of the rides, but it can be done.
Right.
That's good.
And you can still have a great time.
So thank y'all for watching Disney World
versus
Disneyland.
And until next time,
from our house to yours.